The layout of how a network communicates with different devices is called a topology. And the central wiring point, such as a hub or a switch. And all data on a star network passes through this central point before continuing to its destination. One of the major benefits of this topology is that if one computer failed or if there was a break in the cable, the other computers would not be affected because each computer has their own cable connection. However, a disadvantage of the star topology is that if the central hub or switch fails, then all the computers on that central point would be affected. And this is called a single point of failure. If this happens, the entire network goes down. This is called the bus topology. Now this topology is very old technology and it is not used today that much. This is the kind of network setup where each of the computers and network devices are connected to a single cable or backbone. And this backbone is a coaxial cable. The computers connect to this cable using special connectors called BNC, which are also known as T connectors. One of the advantages of the bus topology is that it is fairly cheap and easy to implement. However, a disadvantage of the bus topology is that it requires that the cable be terminated at both ends using terminators. In order for this setup to remain operational, there must not be any open connections, including the ends that attach to the computers. If a computer is removed or added, or if the terminators are loose or missing, then the cable would be open and data would bounce back. And this is known as signal reflection. If this happens, data flow would be disrupted. And this is called the ring topology. A ring topology is a type of network configuration where each computer is connected to each other in the shape of a closed loop or ring. So every computer on this ring has exactly two neighbors for communication purposes. Each data packet is sent around the ring until it reaches its final destination. This kind of topology is rarely used today. The advantage of a ring topology is that they are easy to install and easy to troubleshoot. However, the disadvantage would be that if just one of these computers goes down, or if there was a single break in the cable, then all data flow would be disrupted. And this is called the mesh topology. In a mesh topology, each computer on the network connects to every other computer on the network. So by having so many connections, it handles failure very well. In this illustration, there are 4 computers, with 3 connections on each computer, which makes a total of 12 connections for this network. But because of the amount of cabling and network cards that have to be used, mesh topologies can be expensive. So they are rarely used on local area networks or LANs. They are mainly used on wide area networks, like the Internet. In fact, the Internet is a perfect example of a mesh topology. The advantage of a mesh topology is that it creates a high redundancy level, because if one or more connections fail, the computers would still be able to communicate with each other, as you can see on the illustration. Topologies can also be combined with other topologies if needed, and these are known as hybrid topologies. Hybrid topologies can offer the best of both worlds. In fact, a lot of businesses use some form of a hybrid topology to suit their growing needs. The most common forms of hybrid topologies are the star ring network and the star bus network. In a star bus network, 2 or more star topologies are linked together using a single bus connection. And in a star ring network, 2 or more star topologies are linked together to form a large ring network. Now, a point-to-point topology is two hosts that are directly connected to each other using a single cable. These hosts could be computers, switches, routers, servers, and so on. So a point-to-point topology is the simplest form of topology there is. A client-server topology is where clients connect directly to a centralized, dedicated server to access resources rather than connecting to each other. Typically, a lot of businesses use this type of topology because instead of having to put all the resources on each computer, which is a lot more work, the administrator can just put all the data on one machine, and then all the clients can access the resources when they need it. So obviously, putting the resources on just one machine is a lot less work than putting the data on multiple clients. It makes the administration a lot simpler. Point-to-multipoint topology is a network architecture that is commonly used in wireless outdoor networks. So what you would have is a central wireless base station, and then there would be other wireless locations around it that connect to the single central location. Now, these other locations would not directly communicate to the other locations. They would all only communicate to the central location. So these wireless locations are commonly called clients, and the central location is commonly called an access point or a base station. A peer-to-peer topology is where all the clients on the network talk to every other client on the network to share their resources with each other. So for example, one computer can share their printer, another computer can share their files on their hard drive, and so on. So there is no centralized server that the clients connect to. They all just connect to each other. And peer-to-peer topologies are simple to set up. You will typically find them in homes and small businesses.